Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Mayor and Council meeting of May 19th, 2026 for the Borough of Fair Lawn. Will the Municipal Clerk please read the Statement of Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, adequate notice of this meeting, given the time, date, and information for accessing this public meeting, was advertised in the Record and the Herald newspapers on March 18th, 2026, was posted on the bulletin board located on the first floor of the municipal building, was filed in the office of the municipal clerk, and was posted on the borough's website at www.fairlawn.org/legal.
Roll call.
Councilmember Waldowski.
Here.
Councilmember Salinas.
Here.
Councilmember Kraus.
He's almost here.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Here. Mayor Catrone.
Here.
And Mayor also in attendance is Borough Manager Peluso, Borough Attorney Verone, Municipal Clerk Magarelli, CFO Palermo, and Assistant Auditor Matt Wilcox.
Will everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a number of proclamations this evening, so if everybody will join me down in the well. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am going to start. I'm going to go slightly out of order. I'm going to save the basketball women for last. Okay. So I'm going to start with a small business proclamation for Small Business Month. Whereas small businesses are the backbone of our local economy, creating jobs, fostering innovation, and providing essential goods and services that strengthen the quality of life within our community. And whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn is proud to recognize the dedication, perseverance, and entrepreneurial spirit of the many small business owners who contribute to the vitality and character of our town. And whereas the Fair Lawn Chamber of Commerce has played a vital role in supporting local businesses, promoting economic growth, and encouraging collaboration among business leaders, residents, and community organizations. And whereas the Chamber works tirelessly to advocate for the interests of local businesses, organizes community events, and creates opportunities that enhance commerce and strengthen community connections through Fair Lawn. And whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn encourages residents to support local businesses and acknowledge the important contributions they make to our community each and every day. Now, therefore, the Borough Council and I, Christina Catrone, Mayor of the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Small Business Month in the Borough of Fair Lawn and further recognize and honor the Fair Lawn Chamber of Commerce for its continued commitment to supporting local businesses and strengthening the Borough of Fair Lawn. So this evening, the outgoing president of the Chamber of Commerce, Stella Lemberg, who has been a member of the Chamber for 9 years and president for 3, was supposed to be here today to accept. Unfortunately, she was whitewater rafting with her son and had an accident. And her son, she's okay, but her son is here, Ethan, and Ethan essentially saved his mother's life while whitewater rafting. So I'd like to invite Ethan to come up and accept the proclamation along with all of the members of the chamber. So come on up. That's for you to give to your mom. Okay, and Nancy, do you want to say something? No. Does anybody from the chamber want to say anything? All right. All right. Well, thank you for everything you do. All right. Let's take a picture. Come on in. All right. One more.
1, 2, 3. Well, that didn't work. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I would like to thank this the chamber could say a lot of different things, but what he did with Stella, he should get a special award.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you
Yeah.
did. A hand for him.
Please send our best to your mom. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's up next? Who wants to go next? Okay. What is it? No.
Whereas every community deserves to live in safety and peace, free from the fear and devastation caused by gun violence, and whereas gun violence continues to impact individuals and families across the nation, leaving lasting emotional, physical, and economic effects on survivors, loved ones, and communities, and whereas National Gun Violence Awareness Month serves as a time to honor the lives lost to gun violence, support survivors, and recognize the importance of working together to promote safer communities, and whereas prevention efforts through education, responsible firearm storage, mental health awareness, community engagement, and partnerships among residents, schools, law enforcement, and local organizations can help reduce violence and save lives, and whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn remains committed to fostering a safe, welcome, and supportive community for all residents. And now, therefore, the Borough Council, on behalf of the Mayor of the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim June 2026 as National Gun Violence Awareness Month in the Borough of Fair Lawn, and encourage all residents to honor the victims and survivors of gun violence and to support efforts that promote peace, safety, and unity throughout the community. And I'd like to call up Larissa.
Thank you. I want to thank the mayor and council. It's been over a decade now that they've continued to support gun violence prevention. It's super important that we have these conversations seriously in our communities. As we saw yesterday in San Diego at the Islamic Center shooting, we lost 3 citizens who were trying to just go about their day worshiping with community. They paid the price for loose gun laws, for not enough mental health services. They paid the price like those folks at the Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018, like the students at my alma mater, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, also in 2018. Gun deaths in the US claim over 40,000 lives a year, and 2/3 of those are suicides, and about 18 veterans a day die by gun suicide on average. If you have guns, lock them up safely. That's all we ask. Call your legislators, ask for common sense gun laws. In New Jersey, if you know somebody who's potentially harmful to themselves or to others, we have legal means by which their guns can be taken away constitutionally and then returned to them when they're better. Just please do your best, call your legislators, and use your voice for common sense gun laws. Thank you so much, and thank you, council.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, but let me put these down.
I'm not getting away that easy.
I mean, for the picture.
All right, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have made invaluable contributions to the cultural, economic, scientific, civic, and social fabric of the United States and communities across our nation, and whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month provides an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the rich histories, diverse cultures, and enduring traditions of individuals whose heritage spans the many countries and islands of Asia and the Pacific. And whereas generations of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have strengthened our nation through their leadership, service, innovation, entrepreneurship, and commitment to family and community, and whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn is proud to be home to a diverse and vibrant community, whose members enrich our town through cultural traditions, educational achievements, volunteerism, and community engagement. And whereas it is fitting that we honor the accomplishments and lasting contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders while reaffirming our commitment to equality, respect, and opportunity for all, now therefore the Borough Council, Mayor Christina Catrone, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in the Borough of Fair Lawn. Encourage all residents to celebrate the heritage, achievements, and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders within our community and throughout the nation.
Do we have anybody to accept? No, right? No. Okay, all right. Yeah? No, oh, somebody pointed to you. Okay, then no takers. Okay, thank you. All right.
Our next proclamation. Whereas the men and women of the United States Armed Forces have courageously served and defended our nation, protecting the freedoms and values upon which our country was founded, and whereas National Military Appreciation Month provides an opportunity to recognize and honor the sacrifices, dedication, and service of active duty military personnel, veterans, reservists, members of the National Guard, and military families. And whereas throughout our nation's history, members of the armed forces have demonstrated extraordinary bravery, selflessness, and commitment in times of peace and conflict alike. And whereas military families also make significant sacrifices by providing unwavering support to their loved ones throughout their service to our country. And whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn proudly recognizes and appreciates the contributions of the many veterans and active service members who live and work within our community. And whereas it is fitting that we express our gratitude and pay tribute to all who have served and continue to serve our nation with honor and distinction. Now, therefore, the Borough Council and Christina Catrone, Mayor of the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as National Military Appreciation Month in the Borough of Fair Lawn and encourage all residents to recognize and honor the courage, sacrifice, and dedication of our service members, veterans, and military families. And we will call up Nick Magarelli, who has done so much to fight for our veterans every day.
One more. Perfect.
Okay, last but not least, whereas the Fair Lawn 6th grade girls basketball team has demonstrated exceptional athletic skill, determination, teamwork, and sportsmanship throughout the 2025-2026 season, and whereas the team earned the distinction of becoming back-to-back Rhode Island tournament champions in 2025 and 2026, an outstanding accomplishment that reflects its dedication and perseverance. And whereas the team captured the NWBP Intermediate Red American Girls Championship with an impressive 13-3 record and an 8-game winning streak, averaging 35 points per game with an average victory margin of 8 points. And whereas the team also secured the BTBL Army Championship with a remarkable 14-1 record and a 14-game winning streak, averaging 41 points per game with an average point differential of 15 points. And whereas the coaches, families, and supporters provided encouragement, leadership, and dedication that contributed to the team's success both on and off the court. And whereas the Fair Lawn 6th grade girls basketball team has brought pride and recognition to the Borough of Fair Lawn through its commitment, sportsmanship, and championship achievements. Now, therefore, the Borough Council and I, Christina Catrone, Mayor of the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim May 20th, 2026 as Fairlawn 6th grade girls basketball team day in the borough of Fairlawn, and we recognize this extraordinary accomplishment. So I'm going to call up the coaches first, if they can come on up, and then we'll call the girls by name. So I have Coach Jeremy, Coach Phil, and I don't want to mess up the name of the last coach. How do you pronounce that? Rasim. Come on up. Okay. So those are all for you. Okay. And I'll call up the girls one at a time. I'm just going to call you by your first name so that I don't, destroy your last names. Okay, Eleanor. Gabriella. Isabella. Jasmine. You're welcome. Coco. Okay. Lily. Maya. Peyton. Sophia. Okay. And do the coaches want to say something? Come on.
Well, first, I just want to thank Jerry, president of Fairlawn All Sports, and special thank you to the parents and girls. Congratulations. You girls have something that no one else can teach, heart and hustle. Let's give it another year. Next 2 years, let's win more championships, yeah? Cool.
Get closer. Closer. Kneel. Closer still.
Pretend you like each other.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at you.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that didn't work. Broke out his hand. Ready, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, thank you. Is that it? Wait, coaches, your proclamation. So we are going to move on with our meeting. We won't be offended if you need to go. You're welcome to stay always to watch local government in action. But again, not offended if you have to go.
Yep,
It
absolutely.
might, maybe. Okay. All right, number 6, council comments. I'll give it another second. Good evening, Councilmember Baldowski.
Good evening, Mayor. Want to recognize everybody that's came this evening for the proclamations and awards as they walk on out, but it's always great to have this opportunity to recognize those members of our community who are out there doing great things each and every day without the need for recognition, but we find those times to recognize them. I want to highlight just a few events that have happened. First, of course, the Spring Fling Carnival. For many years on the Board of Education, obviously I supported it and continue to support those endeavors as a council member. I was happy to volunteer. Over the weekend, it was gorgeous weather, so thank you to the Milnes and TJ PTOs, as well as the other volunteers across all of our schools to continue to put on such a fun event right in the center of our town there. I also want to recognize that we had Arboretum Green Fair this past weekend, which was another lovely event, great weather. We really made out this weekend. That was with the Green Team, Shade Tree, Arts Council, all coming together to do a plant swap, to share more information about shade trees and different native plants, as well as planting a tree at the Arboretum, which, as council members are slowly realizing, are one of my favorite events to plant trees. And so I enjoy those opportunities to get dirty and help improve our community there. I also wanted to recognize and thank the Ridgewood Shade Tree Commission. This past month, I had the opportunity to join some of the Fair Lawn Shade Tree committee members. They asked to attend next door neighbors meeting just to see how initiatives are going over there. We've done so much great work and have made great strides with our shade tree committee in this town that we really wanted to see how other communities are navigating different initiatives, and it was a really productive dialogue. And I think it's important that as we're looking to improve things in our community, to not be afraid to look at other communities, to take some ideas from them and maybe put a Fair Lawn spin to it to improve what we can here. And then I also, on that point, I did recently read about Glen Rock seeking to reduce their allowable floor area ratio, which I found quite interesting. And as we're reviewing our master plan, as that's up and the planning board's looking at that, I do wonder whether it's time to consider ensuring that we're doing smart development and smart zoning to protect the characters of our community, especially as the weather's getting nicer. I'm walking around a bit more, and we see these large houses popping up on these small capes and these small lots that it might just be time to just make sure that we're doing everything to protect what makes Fair Lawn so great. And then I just look forward to seeing everybody at the Memorial Day Parade, and hopefully the rain passes away through the weekend and we have a nice, warm, sunny Monday. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening, Councilmember Salinas.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, and thank you as well to everybody that came to accept their proclamations. As Mental Health Awareness Month comes to a close, I have been reflecting on several recent events that highlight what makes Fair Lawn really a special place to call home. I want to take the time to thank the Fair Lawn Arts Council, Heart House, Sam Long for hosting Mental Health Open Mic Night over at Cozy Cafe. Following last month's International Dance Day celebration, this really was another meaningful reminder of the importance of human connection. I heard so many attendees from neighboring towns and local residents about how much they admire the sense of belonging here in Fair Lawn, and it really made me incredibly proud to be there. I also attended like many, the TJ Carnivals. Thank you to all of the volunteers that worked hard to make it another successful event for residents and families to enjoy. I would like to recognize the Green Team and the Arts Council again, along with members of the Shade Tree Committee and the Garden Committee for organizing a wonderful Green Fair Day of Service over at the Arboretum. Despite the heat, it was inspiring to see so many volunteers that shared their knowledge and encouraged residents to learn how small actions can make a meaningful impact. I attended with my daughters who moments prior were asking to play on the Switch and really had no interest in attending. But as soon as we got there, they quickly forgot about the devices and were welcomed with volunteers who were eager to answer so many questions and engage with them. They also got to know one of our local authors, Paul Kaplan, whose book of silly poems captivated the young audience. There were so many kids there and sparked a ton of creativity. So it really was lovely to meet so many talented residents and neighbors. And for anybody interested in getting involved, learning something new, or connecting with your neighbors, I do encourage you to attend a local event or consider joining one of our many committees. As we heard earlier, June 5th is Gun Violence Awareness Day. Last year, there were more than 230 school shooting incidents across the United States, which impacted hundreds of students, educators, and families. So, like Larissa said, promoting responsible gun safety measures and common sense regulations remains an important part of keeping children in neighborhoods safe. I am also looking forward to Monday's Memorial Day Parade. And in addition to that, I'm excited for the upcoming events, including Juneteenth, which will be on Friday, June 12th at the Community Center, and Pride on Sunday, June 14th at Memorial Park. And I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Councilmember Kraus.
Good evening, Mayor. So I do want to, of course, echo our congratulations to all of our proclamations recipients. It was a very good sampling of some of the things that make Fair Lawn great, whether it be our youth athletics, our strong business community, our push for change on the national level, particularly when it comes to gun safety regulations, our pride in our cultural diversity in town, and of course our appreciation for our veterans and the work that we do to support them. Thank you to everyone who came out today. Thank you for your continued efforts to make Fair Lawn what it is. I do want to just say a couple quick things tonight. The biggest thing that I wanted to emphasize, as everyone knows, the Memorial Pool season is about to begin again, and there will be online registrations for Memorial Pool starting on the 26th. The pool will be officially open on June 24th, and the splash park will be open starting May 23rd. A lot of questions. We always get questions about why the pool isn't open earlier. Why doesn't it start Memorial Weekend? And that always comes down to staffing. It's hard to staff those lifeguards before the June start date that we use. So that is why the pool starts in June, and we're looking forward to another great season. I know my family loves going there, and I wish I was off in the summer to go there more, but I do go there as much as I can. It's always a great place to be. So if you're looking for those memberships, again, it starts May 26th. I look forward, as always, to our Memorial Day Parade. So I hope everyone can continue to come out there and join us. And if you do stay to the very end, you'll see some changes that were made to the end of the parade, where we honor our service members who have passed away in previous wars. There's been some upgrades to that, and it's a continuing project. There will continue to be some upgrades there, but they've done a nice job. They had a really good idea, and a lot of work was put together to redesign that area to something that we could all be very proud of, and a place where we can reflect on the sacrifices that have endured this country and allowed us to have the freedoms as well as the opportunities that we have. And as always, I encourage all of us to take advantage of those opportunities and those freedoms, and to continue to try to make your community and your wider world a better place. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening, Deputy Mayor Reinitz.
Good evening, Mayor. I'll try not to repeat everyone. I just want to make people aware, again, Memorial Day Parade on Monday. One of the more poignant events is at the cemetery on Maple. Nick, is that 2 o'clock on Sunday?
Yeah.
That's correct, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so 2 o'clock on Sunday, the Boy Scouts lay flags on veterans in the cemetery, and then they have a ceremony there led by our Veterans Council. If you haven't been, it's really worth attending. Next weekend, I believe June 6th, starting at 12 o'clock at Memorial, is the second Nepal Day. Last year was a really big hit. A lot of food, a lot of culture and dancing, and a really good time. And I know Ray has a lot planned for this year. So if you get a chance to go down to Memorial June 6th, take advantage of that. On Sunday, June 7th, is the Radburn Street Fair, sponsored by our Chamber of Commerce, who was here. The new executive director, Andrea Pass, and our new president, Nancy Leineck, have done a tremendous job elevating the profile of the chamber and recruiting new members and helping to really build our business community and support them. So if you can go to the street fair, it's either 100,000 degrees or it's pouring rain, but you should have a good time one way or the other. The wind usually doesn't come till 3 or 4 o'clock when it starts throwing the tents across at each other. Anyway, our fireworks are June 25th at 8 o'clock. Is that right, Kurt? I'm pretty sure. June 25th at 8 o'clock. It's a Thursday night. There is a soccer game in the World Cup after that, so stay tuned for information about that. But June 25th for fireworks. I also wanted to personally thank the manager and the mayor for their intervention quickly to ensure that our summer basketball programs will continue. I know there was a lot of concern from a lot of people based on a ill-conceived and unfortunate email that went out. But please know that we're doing all we can to make certain that these programs continue. And I appreciate the manager and the mayor also stepping up really quick within a couple hours to make sure that there wouldn't be any interruption. Finally, our big event tonight is passing our budget. This has been probably the most challenging budget year of my 9 years now on the council. The 37-ish% year-over-year increase in our health benefits, which follows a 30-something% increase in our health benefits from last year, and a 15 to 20% increase the year before, has gotten to the point where it's untenable. Our state legislators, the governor, need to really find a way to help municipalities like us. Thankfully, with our CFO and our auditor and our borough manager have done a tremendous job of planning for us, and we're in a financial position that we're not making headlines like so many other towns and boards of ed around us who are cutting positions by the dozens and gutting programs that are their constituents count on. We've been able to weather that storm due to planning that we started, way back when the borough manager was mayor, and we earned our AAA bond rating. And fortunately, we've been able to weather the storm, but I really think it's time that the people in Trenton really need to roll up their sleeves and figure out a fix to this, because it is certainly untenable. And with the increase, we had 4 increases that we had no control over, and those 4 things, sewer, electric, utilities, and the health benefits, it truly changed the way that we could handle our budget. And I think in this day and age, and with the way the economy is currently going and gas prices soaring and all the negative things you see out there, I think we're in a position to be leaders as a state and come up with a way and solutions to do things better. And I applaud the borough manager also for his efforts in trying to find shared services for us that'll help ease the burden on our taxpayers. I think the one thing that I know the 5 of us, or I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I believe the 5 of us are really proud of is that, we're able to absorb these increases without cutting any services for our residents, which is unique in these current times. So I thank the other four on the dais with me for their hard work and delivering a budget to our community that I think is appropriate under these times. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I am not going to be repetitive. The gift of going last is you guys said pretty much everything that was on my list here. But I'm going to add 2 extra thank yous. I'll echo all of the thank yous and congratulations that were said already. But 2 extra thank yous from additional events that occurred since our last meeting. I want to give a big thank you to Lisa McClemens and Fair Lawn for All Ages. On Monday, they had their Senior Health and Resource Fair. They do this every other year, and I think the borough manager can attest that this was the most well-attended and best one yet. We have members from the different borough departments attend, as well as people from the county and the state level, and some private organizations and nonprofits that are there to let our older adults know about information that would be helpful and pertinent to their lives, but also benefits and services that are available to them. So this year was bigger and better than the previous event, and I have no doubt that the next one will be even better. So I want to thank Lisa, and I also want to thank Donna at the Senior Center for opening that up for us and helping to facilitate that as well. I also want to thank Andrea Frankel and Sharon Bragan and the entire Access for All Committee for another very successful dance. So almost every month they do a dance for special needs at the community center. This dance, the theme was America's 250th. And it was kind of a celebration, early celebration or an early acknowledgement of Memorial Day, as well as a celebration of America's 250th birthday. There were, I think, like 300 people there. It was incredible. They had trivia. If you haven't been to one of these dances yet, I would encourage you to go. We had volunteers there from Fair Lawn for All Ages, some of our youth volunteers, and students from both TJ and Memorial and the high school that were there helping, and it's just a wonderful event. So thank you to everybody who made that happen. I'm not going to reiterate the dates and times of our Memorial Day service and parade, but I do want to reiterate the Memorial Circle, Veteran Circle down at Memorial Park is being done in 3 phases. We posted on the social media page, but just to be clear, phase 1 was the beautiful mural that has been down there for, I think, 2 years at this point. Phase 2 is what you are seeing right now, which is new monuments, the addition of a battle cross, of a cannon, and new benches. And then we started a little bit of phase 3, which is the landscaping. So what you should see down there by the time Memorial Day is here are some of the trees and the shrubs, but there's a lot more landscaping to come. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it all done in time, but we wanted to get as much done to honor our veterans on Memorial Day, but I promise there is much more greenery to come in the last phase, which hopefully you'll see very shortly after Memorial Day. I also want to let residents know with the increased temperature that's going to continue into tomorrow, you are always welcome at our cooling centers or our borough buildings that have air conditioning, the community center and the senior center, should you not have a place that has air conditioning and you need to cool down. And then I just want a moment about the proclamations. You know, a lot of times, as local officials, there are bigger problems in the country and the world that we feel a bit helpless about. And I always feel like when we do these proclamations, it's kind of our little way of doing something. You know, when we have our recognition months for groups like Asian American and Pacific Islanders, it's a way to make people in the community feel seen, to celebrate our diversity. And when we have proclamations like National Gun Violence Awareness Day, it's a way to to raise awareness about an issue that needs attention paid to it. We up here can't change gun laws, but we can at least let people know facts and things that they should be aware of. As a former AP Government constitutional law teacher, the Second Amendment is the only amendment that hasn't really been touched, altered, or adapted with the times. And the truth is that 18th century laws cannot regulate 21st century guns. And that wasn't the intention of the Constitution. It was to be a living, breathing document that existed for 250 years so that we can continue to thrive as the democracy that we are. And it is time, not talking about taking away people's guns, but it is time to pass common sense legislation that prevents the tragedies, the massacres, the gun violence that occurs in the United States each and every day and each and every year. And then last, Deputy Mayor Reinitz took a lot of what I was going to say about the budget, but some of it is worth repeating. This is the most challenging year that any of us have faced. 36.5% increase in health insurance, 15% increase in sewer costs, and 19% increase in utilities, none of which we have control over, none of which we can touch or alter or do anything different with. Those were thrown at us that our CFO, the borough manager, had to just start with. That's over $2 million in increase in our budget. And we're not alone. Every town is facing increases of this magnitude, some more, some less, depending on the health insurance plans that the towns are involved in. So everybody is in this position of being behind because of these increases. But the difference is that Fairlawn has had many, many, many years of fiscal soundness. We've had good long-term planning. We've made good decisions over the past few years that have gotten us to a place where, yes, we have to raise taxes. Nobody wants to raise taxes. All of us pay them up here. But we are doing so in a way that was the least impactful that we could come to, and in a way that, as the deputy mayor pointed out, that we are not cutting any services. I spoke with somebody recently who moved out of Fairlawn, and she said to me, you don't realize how special Fairlawn is until you leave, and then you come back to visit, and you're reminded of how special it is. And I can promise you that we did not do anything to this in this budget that takes away from anything that makes Fairlawn special. So we will continue to have garbage collection twice a week in the summer and into the early fall. We are investing heavily in our roads and road repair, as well as pedestrian safety upgrades. We are continuing all free community programming like the community campout, the holiday lights event, art in the park, the Pride block party, the 4th of July fireworks, the Memorial Day parade. We're fully funding our library. We are helping Main Street financially in a way that they can help to continue to revive our downtown areas. We're continuing to invest in youth sports and arts programming, in tree plantings, in our age-friendly and senior programming. We are going to make upgrades to some of our fields down at the complex through capital budget. We are going to make upgrades to the Football Association building that desperately needs some help. We are increasing our stipends for our volunteer ambulance, heavy rescue, and firefighters. So again, we're making investments where investments need to be made so that Fairlawn continues to be the thriving and special community that it is. But we were dealt a really hard deck to work with this year, and none of which were in our control or our fault. And I think what you will see as towns continue to pass budgets, that Fairlawn is in a much better position than many, many, many other towns. And I think our auditor son, but auditor, will attest to that, and as well as our CFO. So that's all I have for this evening, and we're going to move on to number 7, which is our Main Street Minute. And we have Liz here tonight, right? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. So it is my first time giving the Main Street Minute. I'm a
Okay.
little nervous.
That's okay.
And so relieved that the crowd left. But I'm a trustee with Fairlawn Main Street. My name is Liz Farias, and yeah, let's get into what we've been doing this month.
Yeah.
So most notably, Fairlawn had a strong presence at the 2nd Annual New Jersey Film Expo at Meadowlands Arena, where thousands of producers, location scouts, and industry professionals gathered from across the state and country. Thank you to Film Board Chair Allison Sandler and all of the Fairlawn reps who helped showcase our community. I was there with Nick. It was awesome. Tomorrow, we are welcoming innovation and research professional Gabe Dougherty from the International City County Management Association for some discussions focused on local revitalization strategies, particularly along the Broadway corridor, and kind of how we're going to be spending that $1.4 million grant that we received. These conversations are helping connect Fairlawn to broader statewide and national redevelopment initiatives, so we're happy to have that guidance this week. And finally, the River Road design guidelines are now nearing completion, marking another important step towards shaping the long-term vision and character of that corridor and overall beautification efforts in Fairlawn. Hopefully our efforts with Fairlawn Main Street's continued commitment to strategic revitalization and community investment help out throughout this summer and, yeah, throughout the year. So exciting stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. Ryan always goes over his minutes, so. You were right there. Perfect. Okay, number 8, public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget. Can I just ask a question? When would it be appropriate to have the auditor say something about the budget? Is it now, or?
You could have them speak now.
Yeah, okay, yep, okay.
We got to open
What?
it. I was going
Do I have to open this part first, or no, he can just? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Just introduce yourself.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi.
there you go.
Well, my name is Matthew Wilcots. I'm a member at Wilcots and Company. We are the borough auditors. I haven't been here because my father holds this client in a very tight leash. My father is. I'm from Wayne. I'm pretty sure we went to high school together. Yeah, long time no see. But my father was born and raised here. I don't know if he told the story before. My grandparents owned a candy store right around the corner for about 50 years. My
He
father
tells us all the
okay,
time,
you
don't
yeah,
worry.
Yeah, all right. So you're just like me. You heard a story 100 times. So we've been here working with Karen and Kurt to get through this budget, and I think the deputy mayor really hit the nail on the head with all this stuff. This has been I've been doing this for 15 years. My father's been doing this for 43 years. This is the worst year he's seen holistically when it comes to budget. It's so bad that he took a 3-week vacation in the middle of our busiest time of the year and sends me out every night of the week to give these speeches. So, I kind of echo everything the deputy mayor said. It is, when we look at the budget, the appropriations went up just under $2.7 million this year. 2.2 almost was health benefits of that. Salaries and wages, 800, PV, Sag Valley Sewage Commission, 175. All other expenses that we can control went down 686,000. So that just goes to show you how seriously the administration took this job to get to where we are, and it still is a very tough situation. The state health benefit plan, I'm sure you see it everywhere, and piggybacking on, Mayor, what you said, there are so many places that haven't even introduced a budget yet. Yep. Because they actually cannot get a budget that complies with law, because that is going to require major, major appropriation cuts, because they cannot raise taxes as much as they need to even keep things where they're at based on their fixed costs. So you have people looking at layoff plans. You have people going to the state asking for waivers to increase it more than the law. So you're going to start seeing a lot of that stuff coming out, and it's not going to be far away places. It's going to be your next door neighbors. Mm-hmm. And the reason why the borough is in such a great situation is because we make these commonsensical choices like increasing our cap bank, right? We do that to, just in case there's these uncontrollable things we cannot figure out next year, we have that available for us. And I know that, Karen, Kurt, Mayor, Council, you guys take this job very seriously, and that is why you're in this situation. It's really, the reason is the people in this room. And the reason why certain people are in different situations is because they're not making the same kind of tough choices that you've made over the past 3 or 4 years. So, having said that, there's still a tax increase. And that's because there are just so many costs that we cannot control, we have no control over. And I really think personally, the legislation does have to happen because from what I'm hearing, it's going to be maybe even worse next year with state health benefits, because you have all these healthy groups leaving the plan, and it's just gonna, go into like a spiral out of control. So all we can do is what we can do, control what we can, and kind of the highlight of the budget is that what we could control in this budget, those expenses went down $686,000, and like you said, we are not reducing service. We are not looking at layoff plans, and that is not normal for what's happening right now, because everybody else is looking at those options. So
Thank you.
that's kind of all I had.
Yeah, no, that's good, yeah. Karen, did you have anything to add, or he covered? Okay. Not to put you on the spot. Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on the 2026 municipal budget only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on the 2026 municipal budget only. Please state your name prior to the comment. There'll be a 3-minute time limit.
Good evening.
Good
Good to
evening.
be back here.
Yeah. We missed you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Councilman Reinitz, I really want to thank you for saying pushback, not pushback, but that they have to roll up their sleeves down in Trenton. So it's time to push back. We don't have to be the victim to this. It's time that we call our senators and our assemblymen down at the state and say, this cannot be. It's too much and it's too exceeding in terms of the health, the health benefits cost. And I see all the work that you do, and to the CFO, I thank you for all the work that you do. But given that given the cards that you're dealt with almost like a fixed cost and a fixed increase on top of a budget exceeding where you need to be. I do have a couple of recommendations that I don't know if it would be possible just to speak about that here. I know Memorial Pool is in a deficit. Possibly we could charge for any of the overnights, maybe $20 a kid or $20 an attendee, because most of them are mostly kids, and I don't want to take anything away from them, but we can begin to absorb for the use of what's going on at the time. Charge for movie night, $5 a person, or $10 a family. Very, very simple. Street fairs. We don't need 2 street fairs. We could have alternating Radburn Street Fair and Fairlawn or River Road Street Fair, have them on alternate years, which would be, it would cut down in some cost for our police services or the DPW who put the trucks, move the trucks where they need to be. You might have, I love Art in the Park, but have a $5 fee, or start to change how we think so we can absorb some of the costs for whatever is being utilized. Just a small part, or charge or do alternate days or alternate years, for Art in the Park and the event where they sleep over, you know? So just, we have to start thinking outside the box to really bring our costs, to really bring it into check. And I've given you plenty of recommendations, both here and in the work sessions, and I love giving recommendations to make sure that, we operate with a level of integrity. And I so appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank
Perfect
you.
timing.
Yeah. Those are good suggestions, things that we have discussed and talked about. One of the things that we also changed, not as part of the budget, but because we were looking at the budget, was our special events ordinance, particularly for any event that's not sponsored by the borough, right? If we're sponsoring the event, different story. But if it's another organization that's coming in and doing an event here, we were absorbing some of that cost. So that's not going to happen anymore. So if you're an outside organization that doesn't have any connection to Fairlawn, you have to pick up the full cost of the overtime for security or for, like you said, the moving of the DPW trucks and overtime of DPW workers. But I think, looking at charging for things, is something that definitely something we've talked about. The challenging thing is, I think, especially right now, with the increase in cost of, gas is $5 a gallon in some places. This food at the supermarket, it just feels like, everybody is struggling with everything and costs going up everywhere, that if we can still do some things for free to give people some kind of leisure in town where we're not charging them, we want to try to do that to the best of our ability. But I think they're all very good suggestions, so thank you. Anybody else on the budget?
Hello,
Hello.
my name's Eric Cohen. I live in town. My question is the 35% increase in the health insurance costs. I am on
36.5, but
my
yeah.
my
Go
God.
ahead.
So I am a health insurance agent. I do have a business in town. And I want to understand more. You were saying that there's no, you couldn't do anything about it. And I was just trying to understand, for small businesses, it's basically, 10% increase or less. So this is, 3-4 times the amount.
Yeah.
So is there possibilities to do something more private, using private insurance companies or things like that, be more innovative to do something out of the box to lower those costs? That's my question.
So we're in contract negotiations now, so that gives us a little bit of an opportunity to start to have those conversations with borough employees. The challenge is private companies have to want to take us, right? And so they look at the health of your entire employee pool, and they have to want to have us, and we've struggled a little bit there. And when we moved to the state health benefits plan, prior to that, we were in it, then we left because it got too expensive, and then it actually was cheaper to go back into it. And now we're in this position where where the increases are just, I have no better word than insane. And so, yes, we are looking at all of those options moving forward, but a lot of things are contractual, and again, people have to want to take us too. Yeah, which is part of the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else on the budget? Okay, seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on the budget?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget is now closed. Number 9, Resolution 196A-2026, resolution to amend the 2026 municipal budget. May I have a motion to pass this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Yes. Mayor Control.
Yes. Resolution 196B-2026, resolution authorizing the municipal budget to be adopted by title only. Can I have a motion to pass this resolution?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Number 10, Resolution 197-2026, resolution adopting the 2026 municipal budget. Can I have a motion to pass the 2026 municipal budget?
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Resolution 198-2026, a resolution introducing the River Road Special Improvement District budget for 2026. Can I have a motion that this budget be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Resolution 199-2026, resolution introducing the Broadway Special Improvement District budget for 2026. Can I have a motion that this budget be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Number 13, ordinances on introduction. Ordinance 2803-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Fairlawn in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for various capital improvements and other related expenses in and for the Borough of Fairlawn and appropriating $3,607,000 thereof, and providing for the issuance of $3,427,000 in bonds or notes to the Borough of Fairlawn to finance the same. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2804-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Fairlawn in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for improvements to various roads located in the Borough of Fairlawn and appropriating $1,870,000 thereof, and providing the issuance of $1,776,000 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Fairlawn to finance the same. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and the public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2805-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Fairlawn in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for various water supply and distribution system improvements and other related expenses in and for the Borough of Fairlawn, and appropriating $4,055,000 thereof, and providing for the issuance of $3,852,000 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Fairlawn to finance the same. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2806-2026, an ordinance fixing the salaries of certain employees of the Borough of Fairlawn, Bergen County, New Jersey, as amended Supervisors Bargaining Unit. May I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2807-2026, an ordinance fixing the salaries of certain employees of the Borough of Fairlawn, Bergen County, New Jersey, as amended Blue and White Collar Bargaining Unit. May I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
Second.
Discussion? Sorry, I just wanted to see one thing here. This isn't the entire contract, right? This is, huh?
No.
Oh, it's salaries, I'm sorry, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2808-2026, an ordinance amending capital ordinance number 2727-2025, heretofore finally adopted on February 27th, 2025, providing for renovations to the Veterans Memorial in and by the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to reduce the total appropriation therein from $150,000 to $107,500, and to reduce the Bergen County Open Space Grant receivable accordingly. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be passed on introduction, advertised according to law, and that a public hearing be held on June 16th, 2026?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinances on final passage and adoption. Ordinance 2794-2026, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank calendar year 2026. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on only this ordinance.
Pamela Coles, what is the current cap and what will be the cap for next year?
So establishing a cap bank allows us to put money into that account, but Karen, I don't know if you can give the numbers?
The numbers,
Yeah, I don't think,
I don't have them
oh, okay.
right now. It's somewhere around 600,000. It allows us, the bank allows us to just put a little bit of extra money, whatever we have access, in a bank. It doesn't authorize us to spend it, but it's a cushion so that if we ever need to reach in and get our appropriations higher, we have that cushion.
Our rainy day fund.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
Mayor, if I can. So it'll be 3.5%
That's
over
what I'm
the
looking for.
appropriate.
So the cap, what is it currently?
Whatever I'm sorry, I don't have the number, but whatever was in the past is going to be 3.5% over.
It will be
It will go
three-
into the cap bank.
Whatever it is, it's going to be 3.5% over what it currently is, or just up to 3.5%?
3.5, up to 3.5.
Thank you.
Over the 2% cap.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the explanation.
Anybody else on this ordinance? Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on this ordinance?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2796-2026, an ordinance to amend Chapter 74, Broadway Special Improvement District, and Chapter 180, River Road, Fair Lawn Avenue Special Improvement District of the Code of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000, to remove the exclusion from assessment for existing tax-exempt properties within each special improvement district. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance only.
Pamela Coles, what just caught my listening, and I just want to hear if I'm listening correctly. You're going to remove the exclusion from assessment. So what does that mean? You're going to remove it, so it will be included?
So it's a little bit of both. So nonprofit organizations, right, don't pay any property taxes. And currently, they also don't pay an assessment fee, which is extra that businesses pay, right, in the special improvement districts. However, many nonprofits that exist benefit greatly from having a robust downtown area. So the conversation came from Main Street that really that exemption from just the assessment shouldn't exist. But we didn't want to remove that from existing nonprofit organizations. So for example, the Opportunity Center, right?
Yes.
They came here with the understanding that they weren't paying property taxes or a special improvement assessment. So we're not going to now all of a sudden make them pay one. So if you are an existing and operational nonprofit in these two districts, you do not have to pay the assessment or taxes. But if you come into town, now you'll know ahead of time that if you're in one of these two districts, you'll have to pay it. And I can tell you just somewhat anecdotally, but the organization that purchased Bethany Church on River Road we're going from one nonprofit to another. And when I explained to the executive director, that you were going to have to pay this assessment fee, her response was, well, of course I would, because we're opening up in the middle of a downtown area, and we are going to benefit from having good restaurants and cafes and places to go to. And so, we have no problem kind of paying into that. The extra garbage collection, the clean sidewalks, right? They benefit from all that. So, but we didn't feel like we could make existing nonprofits pay that because they didn't go in eyes wide open, essentially.
Thank you. Thank you for that
You're
clarification.
welcome. Anybody else on that ordinance? Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Yes. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2797-2026, an ordinance amending Chapter 13, Fire Department, Article 20, Fire Watch Program, Section 13-90, individuals authorized to perform fire watch of the Code of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance. Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on this ordinance?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2798-2026, an ordinance to amend Chapter 94 fees, Article 6, Schedule of Fees, Section 94-12, miscellaneous fees, Chapter 160, Parks and Rec Area of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment on this ordinance only is now open. Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public
So moved.
comments? Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2799-2026, an ordinance to amend Chapter 160 Park and Recreation Areas of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance only. Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and that it be advertised according to law?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Yes. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2800-2026, an ordinance amending Chapter 125 Land Development, Article 5 Site Plan and Subdivision Standards, Section 125-48 Parking and Loading Zones to prohibit tandem parking. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance only. Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and that it be advertised according to law?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I do just want to point out that this one is about prohibiting tandem parking. So we all recognize up here that we have an issue with parking and that some businesses will come in and find ways to say that they're going to provide enough parking and then there not be enough parking. And tandem parking is sometimes one of those, we'll say, loopholes. And so by prohibiting them in the way that we are, it will make it so that new businesses that come in or new developments that come in, that they really do have to provide enough actual parking so that the parking doesn't end up on our residential streets. So this came to us, I think, as a suggestion by planning or zoning or, so just so people, right? It was our planner. Or our planner that came, yes, it was. Okay, any other discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2801-2026, an ordinance amending Chapter 205 Special Events, Section 205-4, Fees of the Code of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance only. Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz.
Yes.
Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Ordinance 2802-2026, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Administration, Departments, and Budget, and I'm assuming that should say fiscal procedures. Yeah, okay. Article, oh, come on. 18, non-departmental offices and boards, commissions, and committees, Section 2-109, Community Relations Advisory Committee of the Code of the Borough of Fair Lawn 2000. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on this ordinance only. Please state your name prior to the comment. There'll be, I don't know why I read all of that this time. All right, seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing on this ordinance is now closed. Can I have a motion that this ordinance be adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law?
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz. Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Number 15, public comments on consent agenda 11-2026 items only. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on consent agenda 11-2026?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now open on the consent agenda items only.
Pamela Coles, consent agenda item 201-2026. It will be Councilman Baldowski.
Yep.
Now I have a question.
Sure.
I thought that only the boards had a liaison.
No. Actually, the boards don't have. So planning board, it's not technically a liaison. They're a full voting member. And zoning board does not have anybody because that's a completely separate entity. But everything else can have a council liaison. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
202-2026, resolution authorizing the transfer of tax sale premium funds to the municipality following final judgment of foreclosure.
I'll let the borough manager take that one since I've done a lot of talking.
I'm sorry, what was your question on?
What is this in reference to regarding the final judgment of foreclosure?
Which number is that?
202-2026. I'm assuming that's just because a home was, I can get into my notes here. Where are we?
I'm sorry, it's a tax lien sale, which we mentioned for new properties that we have here.
Okay, so it's a tax sale?
Yeah.
Okay, super.
Tax lien sale.
And then 205-2026, resolution authorizing the purchase of goods and services under various national cooperatives for 2026. What types of goods and services?
These are all listed, you should have that somewhere in the agenda
Okay,
packet,
it
but
should be.
it's like janitorial supplies and equipment, some
Okay.
technology stuff,
Gotcha.
automotive parts. It's just anytime we purchase through the cooperative, we have to, when it's over a certain amount.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we
Super.
have to pass a resolution.
Thank you.
Anybody else on the consent agenda? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the time for public comment on the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now closed. Will the municipal clerk please read the consent agenda passage?
Whereas the following resolutions, 200-2026 through 213-2026, having heretofore been placed on this consent agenda, require no discussion, saying, having been previously reviewed by each council member, be and are hereby adopted, ratified, and confirmed in their entirety by the mayor and council of the borough of Fair Lawn.
Can I have a motion to pass the consent agenda?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz.
Yes.
Mayor Catrone.
Yes. Number 17, new business.
Yes, Mayor.
Go
So you
ahead.
might see underneath, we did receive news today that Downs Tree Service would like to make a donation of bushes and trees towards a Veterans Memorial. So we would just request a resolution authorizing the acceptance of that donation.
Anybody have questions about that? Okay. And they're donating, what they're donating is what was in the plans and what the engineer and the landscape architect who was involved, right?
That's
All
correct.
agree on. Great. Anybody else have new business? Okay. Number 18, Resolution 214-2026, a resolution accepting a donation from Downs Tree Service for the Veterans Memorial Circle. Can I have a motion to pass this resolution?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz.
Yes.
Mayor Catrone.
Yes. 19, public comments. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comments?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment on anything is now open.
Pamela Coles, I have a question regarding, this might go back to the budget items. The summer costs for trash or garbage pickup around town. We used to have it years ago where it was only June through August. If we went back to that, or, just a, hypothetical, what would we be saving?
It's hard to give that number because it's all worked into our current contract. So the reason why we didn't even talk about that is because we'd have to open up the entire garbage contract, which we're seeing rate increases in other places. So we don't want to touch that right now, but it's certainly something that, every time the contract is up, we look at how much is each portion costing us and where can we make tweaks.
Okay, super. And I know that there was a crossing guard, the crossing guards were here, well, for the police, when the police had done their summary, which was a phenomenal summary. And the crossing guards had come up. Has there been anything, any progress regarding that?
No, we're still, so, and at the last council meeting, we talked about this as well. So we are in like the very early stages. We're just in the research phase. So no changes are happening right now at all. We're still waiting to get proposals back from other companies. We're also looking at, there seems to be something going through the legislature right now regarding the unemployment pay that's required over the summer months. So we're just in the research phase right now. I don't even think we have it on a work session agenda yet because the borough manager is still waiting on information.
So there has been progress, it's just that it's out, you're gathering
Yeah,
information.
We're just getting information, exactly.
Regarding the Noggle House, back in 2010, took us 10 years to save the Noggle House. And Felice Koplik and Larry Koplik and myself saved the Noggle House. And it's from 2010 to where Mayor Swain at the time, to now. I know we've done a lot of restoration, but it's been 16 years. So when I started this in 2000 to where we are now, that's 26 years to save this house, and it's still not open. Do you have any plan? And what are the plans? Where are we headed with it? Is it going to be like a little park area that we can celebrate, whether it be poetry or readings or some kind of alcove area? Do we have any plan?
Yeah, you want to give an update on kind of where we are?
Yeah,
Borough
it's
Manager?
actually perfect timing because Councilman Baldowski just asked for an update.
Good, thank you.
I don't have the exact numbers, but I'll give you some ballpark, so please don't kill me if I'm a little bit off. But the borough is in the process of receiving $537,000 from the New Jersey Historical Trust Grant. We applied for it. We were rewarded the funds. We haven't received them yet. And there's also going to be some funds that the governing body has set aside as well. We have also received about $134,000 from the county for restoration as well. We do have a historic architect who's reviewing all our plans, and their recommendation, once we receive the money to do the interior, to do the landscaping outside first. So on May 1st, the borough submitted a proposal for a landscaping grant. We're hoping to hear from that soon, so we'll have additional funding to do the outside. So right now, we're kind of, I do agree, I remember in 2011 when there was a ribbon cutting for it, so I hear you. It is taking a lot of time because it's a monstrous cost when you're doing anything historic. So there has been work done already. There's a lot more work getting done, and right now we're allocating all the funds to move forward with it.
Yeah, because I noticed the bamboo is back
The
in certain
bamboo,
areas, and
yeah, that bamboo is probably going to cost over $80,000 to remove on its own. So
Okay.
yeah, we got some large expenses coming.
okay, super. And lastly, the Cadmus House. I know it's been closed for several years, not closed, but had limited capacity. Are there any updates regarding the Cadmus House?
Yeah,
So
so
we
we
could
did-
celebrate our, with 250 years upcoming, I would love to
Sure.
celebrate all of our
So we did have a
historic sites.
structural engineer come in who has allowed small gatherings at the Cadmus House. Was it Matt Correa recently had an event
Yeah.
where he saw like the president, vice president signatures, and people were able to walk around it. There's a lot of exterior, interior work that we have to do. Our department head for our building department did a walkthrough. He did some testing on some of the material there. And he's allocating, kind of putting up some estimates of what it will cost. There was some initial cost that the Cadmus has a nonprofit that helps oversee it. They got a proposal from a contractor. The numbers are a little bit more than what they had contracted for, so we're putting those numbers together, and then we'll move forward with the funding to kind of get that fixed up as well.
Okay, super. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Daniel Tynan. I live in town. First of all, thanks for being observant of these historic things. My father's godfather's family, they were the DeRemuses, in Glen Rock. They were the first people here in Fair Lawn. And this town was known as Red Mill, New Jersey. That was the DeRemuses' Red Mill. George Sr., he was about 72 years old when he was captured during the Revolution. He survived to be repatriated, but the British had removed the windows from the prison he was in New York, so that he caught pneumonia, and he died a year later from that. But thank you very much for being observant of our historic legacy. That isn't what I came here for. This is. New Jersey cannabis prices are amongst the most expensive in the nation. For 5 years now, tacit collusion, price fixing, monopoly, and gouging have become a sad and sorry fact for life here in our state. Multi-state operators have carpetbagged their way into New Jersey and expropriated much of New Jersey's cannabis, ripped us off with oppressive pricing, and sent our money back to their homes in California, Chicago, Massachusetts, and even Europe. These people, foreign to our state, have also been abusive to our workers and have even gotten on the nerves of our state officials at the Cannabis Regulatory Commission. So much so that the CRC has publicly stated their disdain for these companies, and by way of preferencing small micro-businesses in the licensing process, they've caused these multi-state operators to wait. Only competition is going to fix this pricing problem, and yet competition has become impossible as local licensing is prerequisite to state licensing. And with only a third of New Jersey's towns opting in, and those towns' licenses already taken by people who intend to continue the gouging, the state has very effectively closed to competition. The legislature has seen this, and the legislature has acted. From now on, citizens of any town can petition their council to opt in. If the petition is rejected by the council, the issue must be placed on the ballot in the form of a referendum during the next general election. I've done the math, and a tremendously lucrative cannabis business can be built around $150 ounce. I should hope to begin just such a petition referendum campaign right now, but given the high likelihood that any petition or referendum would receive the prerequisite signatures and necessary votes, I'd like to ask the council if they might save time and effort and just vote to opt in. If they would, then this idea would begin saving the average cannabis consumer about $7,000 a year. Assuming for 10,000 cannabis consumers here in Fair Lawn, then this idea would save the people of Fair Lawn $70 million a year. That's what I have to say.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else? Okay, seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close the time for public comments?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time for public comment is now closed. Will the municipal clerk, number 20, Resolution 215-2026, Executive Closed Session. Will the municipal clerk read the executive session resolution?
Whereas NJSA 10412B allows the public body to enter into a closed session during a public meeting, and upon conclusion, the meeting will return to open public session, and whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn has deemed it necessary to enter into a closed session, excluding the public to discuss matters that are exempt from disclosure. Collective bargaining agreements, including proposed terms and conditions and negotiations, personal matters pursuant to NJSA 10412B8, and pending or anticipated litigation or contract negotiation other than the collective bargaining agreements in which the public body is or may become a party, or matters falling within the attorney-client privilege. Now therefore be resolved that the Borough Council shall now enter into a closed session, and that the discussion in closed session may be made public when disclosure will not detrimentally affect any right, interest, or duty of the borough.
Can I have a motion to go into closed session?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Baldowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Salinas?
Yes.
Councilmember Kraus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Reinitz? Mayor Catrone?
Yes.
We're in closed session at 9:09.